All right, I'm back. So I am now going to install liquid metal between the new base plate, which is fixed. I'll show you how I fixed it. Well, fixed to work with the Morpheus. I'm going to use liquid metal only because I used up the last of my thermal paste coating all those VRMs. So first, how I managed to make the Morpheus compatible with the Vega base plate. The way I did it was with power tools. So I realized that the only way to make it work was with the standoffs, and I drilled, I don't know if you can see the holes there where it mounts are quite a bit larger, and oh, it's cool, the die is so reflective you can see the phone. So I've drilled 4 larger holes. I used a 3/16 inch bit. Don't worry, I took this off the card to drill the holes and then remounted it using up all of the very little Noctua paste, which is also non-conductive, very important to finish covering up the VRMs with whatever I had to remove to drill out the holes. So this is now remounted with plenty of thermal paste between the components and the base plate. Base plate is all mounted to the front bracket as well as the back of the card with the 4 screws there. And these holes are now large enough that the Morpheus with its included standoffs can go through the base plate, make contact with the card. I'll mount it using the stock, this isn't technically a back plate, but support underneath. And I think we've got it. The only problem was, of course, that I ran out of thermal paste doing all this craziness. So I have nothing left but liquid metal, so we're doing liquid metal. That being said, you have to be really careful because it's conductive. You might short something out. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. It should conduct heat pretty well, though. I do have a molded die, so I don't think I'm going to have any trouble with evenness there. I used this silicone modified conformal coating to electrically isolate all these small components around the die. You can probably, yeah, that's very easy to see how shiny that is. I painted 2 layers on. I put 1 layer on, I waited for it to dry, I put another layer on. So those small components there are very much isolated from any liquid metal if it were to spill over or be just too much on the block or whatever. So with all that being said, I think we can go ahead and apply the liquid metal now. This is very much dry. The second layer is looks like it did a good job of covering everything. So this is the Q-tip, which comes with it. I already have some from a previous liquid metal application. You're applying liquid metal, you want to apply it to the die as well as the block. It's not like thermal paste. However, I'm very interested to see how this affects thermals. By accident, I had no plan to do this. Like I said, I just ran out of the other stuff, so see how it goes. So let's see, I know they have a couple different applicator tips that come with this. I think this is the one I used last. Yeah. We'll reattach the tip. And I'm going to apply it actually to this first because this has been known to kind of explode out after some use. Hopefully I don't make it, that's something you do not want, making a huge mess everywhere. So let's do it and put on some more aggressive music, some Chopin. It's dramatic, for dramatic effect. I don't like how this guy played it. It's very not, didn't use enough pedal. So I can only play the first page out of like 10, so I'll shut up. Yep, there it goes. Exploded right off, so I gotta make sure this does not get anywhere. This is way too much, by the way. You don't want to pool like that. I'm gonna sort of try and steal it from there and start putting it on the die. I'm gonna suck some back up because we've got definitely too much still here. Still way too much. This camera's a poor position for one who is left-handed. I should try and get that on the other side for future videos. Still too much on here. It's like this pool. Gonna try and absorb some of that back up. Yes, is there any other tips that came with this? No. It's going to be sort of a slow, because of that huge explosion of liquid metal at the beginning. Oh, nope, no, not good. Just landed on the base plate though, at least. I still have another side to that Q-tip too. I'll start cleaning that up. That is unfortunate. Let's try using this dry side to like move some of that around. I wonder if I can just sop it out. It's weird. Liquid metal is a weird material. Gallium. Some flavor of gallium. Yeah, that did absolutely nothing. Forget what the proper way to remove this was. I think rubbing alcohol will just remove it though, similar to paste, I think. I believe that's how I removed it last time I had to remove any. All right, I'm gonna see if I can remove this. Use a clean towel so you don't get any particles in there. See if I can rubbing alcohol this away. Yes, that works extremely well. The die is all set to go. It's this excess amount that's ended up on the cooler that's concerning. You don't necessarily want a pool of it. I really don't want it to get anywhere. I'll try just taking off like half off the top and then respreading it. Yep, oh, that did it. Cool. Q-tip. That is still a pool. That's incredible. How much came out with that air bubble explosion? Don't get other places. Get out of there. Just kind of rolls back up though. All right. No, not my finger. That's also unfortunate. This is just many unfortunate events. It's all right though. It's starting to look good. I'll live with a silver finger for a couple days. I should go wash that off like immediately though, actually. BRB, listen to some Chopin. All right, I'm back. Without liquid metal on my hand this time. Okay, this is no longer a pool, so that's a very good sign. Still a small pool. Yeah, that's still an unpleasantly large amount. Make sure all the corners of the die get hit. What a waste of liquid metal. I don't think, I wasn't really planning on using it for anything though. I can't delid anything because I have a soldered 9900K, so that's not coming off. I take off far more than I think I should this time. Okay. Now I'm going to respread. And that should do it. That's looking like the correct amount. Yeah, that's much better. No pooling happening. I need a new Q-tip. Got a pack of Q-tips here. I was just using for thermal paste. Thought I still had a couple left. Maybe I used them all. Nope. Here they are. Okay, that looks good. There's a very thin, properly sized layer of liquid metal on here. Perhaps a tad too much, but not like too much. And there's definitely not too much on there. And like I said, I've already applied a layer of conformal coating that should help protect all of those components on the side. All right, I think that's it. So let's check that out. Here's the die. It looks kind of lumpy, although from the best I can tell, there isn't debris in there. That's just a surface tension and stuff. I could be wrong, but it really doesn't look like debris of any kind to me. It's just sort of bumpy, so that could be a bad thing. I can try with another clean Q-tip, but I think it's good. That's better. And now we got a dry spot. That's good. I'd rather be having dry spots than pools. You can always spread it out a little differently, but I'm not going to be able to unshort the card if something were to happen. So I think that's it. Yeah, those are just pooling areas where the Q-tip stopped. Please, if you're going to apply liquid metal, don't go off of my video. Go watch someone who knows what they're doing, like Steve over at Gamers Nexus, Buildzoid, actually hardcore overclocking, one of those people. This was very unprofessional. There was a huge blob and there was a bunch of paper towels. Yeah, don't listen to me. But if you want to try it and you follow someone more skilled than me as a guide, then yeah, it might be interesting. We'll find out if it's worth it in a very short while. See what kind of temps we have. This is looking good now. Not good, but acceptable. It wasn't really acceptable before. All right, there we go. Nice shiny liquid metalled Raijintek. I've got a little bit of liquid metal on the side that I'm not too happy with. Let's try and get rid of that. This is something to be very careful with, and like I said, this is probably not a good idea. Don't do this. But I have no other choice, and I'm curious. And liquid metal makes a trendy YouTube video title, so why not? I did already check to make sure the holes I drilled were good enough. So I'm gonna sit this down, pick it back up, and check how the liquid metal is touching. But I would rather check first rather than to turn it on and find out I've shorted out a ton of stuff. And perfect. You can see where the dye made contact. There, there, and there. There's a couple pools where I wouldn't like them, like this edge over here. I think I'll try and take that off. But it did not make contact with anything down here. And even if it had, the conformal coating should protect those small components. So let's take off this edge above the HBM that doesn't really need anything. Much better. And there's this edge below. That's fine. That's fine, actually. Well, you know what? I'm slightly concerned about potential junk in there. No. I keep thinking there's junk in there, but it's the liquid metal forming these tiny bumps and blobs from the contact and then being pulled back off. So I'll just respread that with one of the last clean Q-tip edges I have. I'd rather this take a long time and not break anything than it be fast and like break stuff, obviously. So I apologize for any tediousness or unnecessary OCD, but it's probably necessary in this case. The Q-tip is getting kind of furry, but it's hanging on, and whenever I hit something that I thought was dirt, it dissolves into a puddle, so it's not dirt or Q-tip residue or anything like that. That was my main concern. Paper towel residue. There's something that is a Q-tip residue, but that's fine. That's fine. No liquid metal touching anything important. Except for a little tiny bit right there. I'm not going to use that. Use this. Nudge it back where it belongs. Great. That's perfectly sized right over the HBM and the die. Let's do this. It's terrifying. And this fits right into those 4 holes I drilled. These are all tight. This is like the jankiest mod. I might go so far as to guess that nobody has modded a Vega 64 to this extent for air. I'm sure people have done tons of crazy liquid stuff, but this, at this point, is very much not necessary. Not that it's not necessary, but it's just like overkill. And just unfortunately where I've ended up. So, there we go. Perfect. Liquid metalled Vega 64 on air. Here's our bracket. Goes underneath. Perfect. Let's line those up. There's one. Let's do the opposite one. Oh, so much pressure on this ridiculous mount. It makes me so scared every time. Okay. There's 2 sides. Okay. So this will either, upon turning this on, it'll either explode, short out, cause many sparks, all of that, or just not work. You know, that's basically the same thing. Either it doesn't break in either a dramatic or non-dramatic way, or it'll be like the coolest air-cooled Vega 64 in existence, which is pretty cool, actually, if that happens. There's a huge risk to it, but again, do not recommend this at all, but I'm out of thermal paste and I have liquid metal, so I went for it. Oh yeah, look at that. It worked. It's not often theoretical things turn out well. There it is. So dremeled off base plate that is attached. The cooler is making great contact with the die with liquid metal. Back, there's again stock base plate sort of chopped up with just a ton of thermal paste in there to maintain contact between all these components. I'm not going to put the back plate on, even though I could, because I'd rather there be airflow over these chokes. The back plate is non-effective. An intractable. I should actually. Hello, by the way. I remember you. Sorry, I've been gone. Hopefully, you saw my other video with the short explanation of everything that happened. Just had a ton of work to do, all of that. But I totally should. Is that domain available? That'd be pretty cool. So yeah, the coolest Air Vega ever. Might be useful again as a Vega 7. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'm so sorry I'm behind on comments. So I am alive. It's just social media, including YouTube in that, is hard to keep up with like real life things happening. I will try to be better about it though. So now I'm going to reattach the base plate. Just for guides. Oh, sweet. Oh, okay, cool. I'll check that out. It sounds fun. So these were the screws that went into the this, which I'm not going to attach. Windows and macOS. Okay. Cool. I'll go read it, or you can retype it here if you want an immediate answer. But yes. I will read it as soon as I get a chance. We're getting there. Make sure that base plate is very attached. Actually, it's... Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I've saved the EFI folder. Oh, cool. Thank you. I'll go check it out. So, yeah, I have saved my EFI and all of those things. I appreciate it too, by the way. That might be cool. I'm not, again, like it. I know it works as a Hackintosh moderately well. I just had so much like mission critical type work to do that I couldn't deal with the small bugs at the time. Had I had more free time, and maybe when I have more free time in the future, I will indeed, delve back into it. For the time being, I just have to get work done that pays me. And it's all music and media related, and I just need a solid workstation. I say that as I do a very Dremel-y hacked up Vega 64 mod with liquid metal, when I could just underclock it and be happy. What do I work with? Primarily used Ableton until I got a Ableton Live until I got a Rolly C-board, and it doesn't support. It's like a MIDI standard that for like it's a squishy soft piano with bending and sliding, and Ableton does not support its standard of communication. So I'm trying out Cubase right now, and I'm really liking it. I think I'll probably switch to Cubase. I had also considered a few others like Logic Pro. Logic was fine, but again, I'm not attached to it, so I don't need to be in the Mac ecosystem per se. It's not a necessity. can't believe I remembered which ones were the black screws and which ones were the gray screws. This is exactly where they belong. All right. That is extremely solid. Thank you so much for your comment about the Morpheus cooler being available again, by the way. I did buy one before I read your comment. I bought one like right on Christmas Day as soon as they appeared. So yeah, this is it. And now with a base plate to help keep the VRMs cooled. And liquid metal. This is going to be a beast if it doesn't short out and blow up. I did take every precaution though, so I'm pretty confident in it. Let's remount the fans with these sort of chicken wire fan mounts. And of course, our ML120 maglev fans. They're very nice, very quiet when they're low. Extremely high extremely high static pressure and airflow when they're cranked up. They're very nice. I bought a couple of 140s of them actually for the case as well, as an exhaust fan. So I think this one fits somewhere around here. Just sort of guesstimating since I don't have the... Actually, I don't need to guesstimate. I can see the bent fin where this attached previously. There we go. That's one. Oh, I have more liquid metal on my hands. That's unfortunate. Oh, I just bumped my phone with my head. There we go. It's one fan. And these fans did need pushed slightly over to the side to make room for motherboard headers. Oh yeah, I also created my own fan adapter for this janky thing out. So this is the Vega blower header with the 4 PWM pins, and I had a 4-pin fan splitter. I literally just chopped off the two ends and soldered them together, and then electrical taped them. So now the Vega can control the two fans on top of the Morpheus. It actually works surprisingly well, despite being a little ugly with the electrical tape. All right, second fan. This is really terrifying. It's like the moment of truth is fast approaching. It's not here now. There is no truth now. It's just insane experiments that you should not try at home. Where is my last fan bracket? Just like in the way Linus Text Tips has become a channel of him dropping things, I think I'm going to become a channel of me losing things and looking for them, because that, no matter how much I plan ahead with like even a tray full of screws, and there's always something that I spend some time during a video looking for. Probably because nothing's scripted and I'm just winging it every time. There is another fan clip somewhere in existence. But these moments where I've lost things usually tend to be good places to cut videos, so I may do that if it's not immediately visible. And then, because, I mean, you get the idea. You don't need to see the fourth fan bracket on immediately. Dropped it. Yes. Exactly. All right, that's what I'm going to do. So here is this beast of a almost mounted 4-slot Vega 64 with liquid metal and a modded, dremeled off base plate to keep it rigid and to sync all the VRMs. 2 Corsair ML120s on top of a Raijintek Morpheus 2. Yeah, I'm going to find it. I'm going to put it back in the case, get it all hooked up, probably turn it on for the first time, not live in case it explodes. Well, maybe I should be live in case it explodes. That would be pretty good. But I'll probably try it out on my own first. And yeah, I'll be back either tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. I'll see if it works tonight. I'll do a video tomorrow on temps and how all that went. So thank you for tuning in again. I'm going to try and keep these around 35 minutes. It's going well so far. Good to see you again. And yeah, I'll be back in the next video. Bye. Bye, liquid metal hands.